It's so stupid, it's positively brilliant.
Do you have some cash, Taylor?
Yeah.
Just give me any bill. I'll show you something interesting. So when we were up in Boston doing shows, we got access to one of the first Mason lodges in history.
Okay.
Right? I think it was the oldest one on the West Coast. It was the one where Paul Revere was the head Mason.
Clearly had candles.
Love the candles.
Yeah.
All over.
Yeah.
Right? And I think almost every president in history has been part of the Masons in some way. I think Obama's a Mason. And they're this group. There's some people look at them like the Illuminati. Anybody can join, by the way, but they have this kind of like mysterious aura to it.
Mason lodges.
The Mason Lodge. We saw all these things. Now, if you look, what's that right there, Taylor? It's a pyramid, right? With an all-seeing eye on top. And if you look at a lot of like big American cities, even in Central Park, you'll see it. And DC, you'll see it. The Washington Monument is a big...
all-seeing eye?
Well, no, it's a big obelisk. You've seen those like big pointy, almost pyramid-like structures? The Washington Monument is the only monument that doesn't have the guy on it.
Yeah.
It's the Washington Monument, but for some reason, it's just this big, tall pyramid-shaped thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, why is there like this Egyptian influence in American and Western philosophy and culture?
Yeah.
And what these guys believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mason folks, but what these guys believe is that there was alien influence.
Had to be.
And there continues to be alien influence. And that every once in a while in history, not necessarily alien, but higher power, whatever you want to believe it is, right? An alien that would control shit for us would be a higher power. It would be God, essentially. And every once in a while, they push humanity on the right course. They nudge humanity in the right direction, right? So we're essentially a game or an experiment of theirs. And that explains all these amazing things throughout history. The pyramids, for example, electricity, right? Benjamin Franklin, you've heard the story about the kite and the key, right? They're like, that's not what really happened.
Which sounds like total bullshit.
Of course it's bullshit. Of course it's bullshit.
Like that shit sounds like such bullshit now.
But, as you know, more than anyone, you need a story to sell the people on it.
Yeah.
So you can't just go, hey, aliens come in and they influence and they told me about this electricity thing that's going to give us an amazing advantage in the new world. That's not a story you can put in the newspaper. People buy.
It could be if the aliens told it. If you got these aliens that are showing you like they can do all of this wild
But they
shit.
don't want to be known, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they push people in the right direction without even telling them. I mean, in a lot of ways it could describe religion. It describes all these things. Maybe they give them some information and then people go left with it or they go right with it. But still, it is an interesting way of looking at history and looking at these amazing events that happen in history and trying to fully understand why these events turn out that way. You know? And it's like, is it influence? Is it culture? What is it? The reward system? Who knows what it is? But it is uncanny the influence of like these like Egyptian obelisks and all this like Egyptian art.
As a human who's seen flying saucers before,
right?
Saw my first one when I was 8 years old,
right?
In Moncks Corner, South Carolina, hovering over the trees in my grandmother's yard.
Yeah.
As a human who's been visited,
imagine how disappointing it would be to travel from millions of light years away and end up at Moncks Corner, South Carolina.
That's exactly where you would want to be.
Imagine of all the shit to see in the world. You got the pyramids. Hey, man, remember my great uncle made those pyramids? We got to check those pyramids.
That's where you would want to be.
In Moncks Corner.
Yes.
The Great Wall of China.
And I'm going to experiment on this little motherfucker right here and put all types of shit in his body and make him phenomenal to show the world how great we are.
Who were you not molested by?
Who do you think?
Your aunt wants you. The aliens. How do you not feel worthy? You're the chosen one, motherfucker.
That's right, goddammit. You're right. Listen, remember when I came in here and I had those cuts on both my legs? You remember that? When I had the cuts on both shins in the same exact place?
Hands too?
I've had those. I used to have them right here. You can still see the scars right
You're
here.
Jesus?
Bro. Listen, I know aliens been experimenting on me for a long time.
Really?
You know who else aliens built? The Joe Rogan podcast.
Really?
Look at Joe Rogan's logo. Look at his logo, goddammit.
Now you ain't never into conspiracy, Charlotte. Conspiracy,
Hold on.
Building.
Hold on. You what the fuck is that? Oh. Clues bomb. Hold on. You ain't never paid attention to Joe Rogan's logo.
So have you been probed and shit? Is that why you like it when your girl puts her finger in your butt?
Come on now. Look at that. What does Joe Rogan have on his logo?
Yeah, the third eye.
That's right.
Eye.
Joe
believes in all this.
What's my nonprofit called? For years, for 20 plus decades, huh? Third eye awareness, baby.
Oh,
come on now.
Oh shit.
Aliens know what they doing. Aliens out here creating some of the greatest media personalities of our generation. All right? Okay? So we can spread the word about them. All right? And we believe in them. All right? We letting them know the goodness of them and God.
Yo, aliens, we appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man.
Keep bestowing us these blessings,
right.
man. It's been working out.
We appreciate you.
Y'all keep it up,
and
man.
whenever you ready to pull up.
Yo, Jesus up there like, let him call me an alien one more time. Call me a motherfucking alien one more time.
And you know what I would say to Jesus? They call you and all your friends illegal aliens, okay? They're building a wall for you and all your illegal friends.
Yo.
Jesus.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?